Good night, good night, good night. Good night to McClean's Gap. Good night, Britain's Hill. Good night, St. Michael's South Central. Good night, Barbados Labour Party family. Y'all feeling good tonight? Good, good, good. I want to say thank you for our host tonight, for accommodating us. I want to encourage those of you who have not yet had some fish gates and pigtails. I can't eat pigtails. But those of you who have not yet had, please come and support your neighbors. I want to say thank you to those who have spoken before me tonight. It is not easy to get up on a platform and address a crowd. And I want to acknowledge Keisha Richards for the tremendous effort. You know, Team Marsha, we plan a lot. We do a lot of planning. And before tonight, we got together and looked at what some of the speakers were thinking of saying, and Keisha came to me and said, this is it. And it was complete, it was concise, it was insightful, it was from the heart. Keisha's one of the first people that I met when I first met to Valerie. And she was able to tell me about all of the concerns, because she's one of these people that talks to her neighbors, like Simone was saying, that is really interested in making sure that despite what they're experiencing, that her community pulls together. So I want to thank Keisha again for that great effort. I want to acknowledge Fana Branch and her chairing section. Listen, you need a red shirt, you need to come to some Barbados Labour Party meetings with those lungs. But Fana, again, first time I believe speaking on stage, and did an excellent job. And we have to encourage young people. We have to encourage different voices, because we get used to hearing the same voices. And we start to think that this is how people are supposed to sound. We start hearing Kelman and Jetta Inks. And we start believing that this is how people that lead us are supposed to sound. But I want you to know that there's leadership in the communities of Barbados. There's leadership in the communities of St. Michael's South Central. I encounter it all the time, and it may not look the way that you expect, but it says that there are people who are ready and able to take Barbados forward. I want to thank Abdul for his introductory remarks tonight. I want to thank Simone Innes for so ably chairing our proceedings this evening, and for making a speech or two in the process. Simone is very capably managing our operations at the office, and what she says is very true. And I will get to it in a while. It is important to know the power of your vote. It is very important. And so, at the St. Michael's South Central branch office, it is in Tweedside Road. I know Britain's Hill people feel as a little far, but nowhere in Barbados is far. True? Very true. And so we are ready and able, because it is not just about a vote. And I say this all the time. You will hear me, Motley say all the time. You will hear my colleagues say all the time. The 30 of us in Parliament are not alone going to be able to do the job of bringing Barbados back. So it's not just about when and how you are able to vote. It is about what happens after that. It is about the fact that we all need to come along in this transformation. I also want to thank Kirk Humphrey. And I'm going to wait while you all applaud, because I know there's a lot of applause out there. As Kirk said, he became a candidate around the same time I did, a few months before, in fact. And you know, we just had a panel discussion at BLP headquarters. We were talking about the importance of having somebody before you. And Kirk was only before me by a few months facing a nomination. But when he became the candidate, and he realized that I was also going to face a nomination, he called me and said, listen, I come in to help you. And he gave me one of his most important resources, who's in the audience tonight. I know that he gets a bit bashful, so I'm not going to make him shame. But he said to me, I am going to talk you through what I went through, and I'm going to make it so that it is a little bit easier for you. And I want to say to those who question the unity of the Barbados Labour Party that we do not have an issue with unity. We are one Barbados Labour Party. And there will be people out there who are vexed that they were not able to hold on to leadership because Barbados was looking for different. And we appreciate their leadership. We acknowledge their leadership for the time that it came. But Barbados is ready for a new leadership under Mayor Amor Morton. I want you to understand that you deserve Mayor Morton. She is the type of leader who is visionary, who is inclusive, who does not see or consider anybody below her, who sees in everybody value and a way that they contribute to making Barbados better. But tonight, I'm glad that Kirk covered a lot of the national issues that we are facing, and you've heard us talking about them over and over on our national platforms. But tonight, I want to talk to my people in Britain's Hill. And I want to say to you tonight, do not allow yourselves to be taken for granted. Do not allow yourselves to be taken for granted. Because you know what they say about Britain's Hill? They say that Britain's Hill is not concerned with progress. They say that Britain's Hill will always accept what it has always accepted. They think that they can come at the last minute and the last second and pull their pockets and convince you that the last 10 years of complete neglect and disrespect is all that you deserve. And I want you to show them on election day that British Hill is better than that. British Hill has always been better than that. The other day, we had an artist showcase. And at least one of those artists is here tonight. I guess where are you? Flo K in the house tonight. I guess and some of the other guys were discussing with me what is it that they think they need in order to move from where they are. Because all of us at some point need to move from where we are. In fact, we always need to move from where we are because we are always looking for better. And they came and said, we want to show Britain's Hill that we are not just guys that line on a block. We want to show that we are out there doing things, and people pass and see us and they think that we are not doing anything. They think that we have nothing to say, but we want to show people what we have to say. And we put on an artist showcase. And I asked some producers, top producers in the country, they agreed to come and listen to the talent in Britain's Hill. And the guys performed, put on an outstanding show up the hill there in Valerie. An outstanding show. So much so that I will say to you tonight, I told Mikey and Scott, choose an artist, choose one. Because I know that studio time is a commodity. I said, choose one. And they said, no problem. We're going to go away. We're going to watch. We're going to go away and we're going to think about it. They called me last week. And you know what they said? They said, boy, Marsha, I know you said choose one, but we want 3. We want 3. We want, and I'm going to announce it tonight for the first time, we want Triple X, we want Shanghai, and we want Flo K on the same track. And we are going to produce it, and we are going to help promote it, and we are going to show Barbados what is happening in Britain's Hill. Don't let them tell you that you don't deserve better. Simone spoke tonight about what your vote is worth. And there are things that I keep hearing. There are things that I keep hearing, and there are things that I believe the Democratic Labour Party has said over the last 10 years, and people have started to believe. The other night, a young man, smart young man, talented, works in entertainment. He started telling me about all the things wrong in Barbados, all the things that he's so disappointed about. And after about 15 minutes of that conversation, I said to him, "You're voting, right?" And he said, No. I don't get involved in that. And I want to clarify, right, what I said to him. When people say I do not get involved in politics, I tell them, politics is only, don't get overwhelmed by the idea of politics. All politics is the way that you choose who is going to take you over the path of development for the next 5 years. It is not politics that we are here to do. The Democratic Labour Party has perfected one thing, and that is the game of politics. They are playing games with you. They think that all that is necessary is when somebody criticizes a policy to come out there and say they should not say that. They think that that's their job. They have actually been acting like the opposition for the last 10 years. They have not gotten up and woken up and realized that they are the government of this country. They are constantly on the defensive, not on the offensive, no proactive policy. They are defending their position because they get what they bargained for. And they thought it was easy. Because they look at the 14 years before and they said, our time now. But that can't be hard. It is our time now to eat of the fatted calf. And that is what they have been doing for the last 10 years. I don't want you to be afraid of politics. What the Barbados Labour Party is doing here is not politics, it is development. We will have tournaments, we will have football tournaments, and we will have other events that bring the community together, because those things are not unimportant. But I want you to ask the guys in British Hill who are here tonight, when they come to me about a football tournament, what I say to them. I do not mind supporting you in a tournament, but I want to support the development of sports in Britain's Hill. That is what it is about. Anybody could print a name on a shirt and give somebody to put on. Anybody can send somebody because they don't come themselves, you know. I went to a football tournament in Britain's Hill once that was put on by the current representative, and I didn't see him there yet. They don't come themselves, they send people. That is what they think of you in Britain's Hill. That you will just take the crumbs and they don't have to show up. But Britain's Hill needs more than tournaments. Because what do you have to do in a tournament? You have to play, and you have to play well. So what you need to do is invest in the training and the skills of young people, so that when they get to the tournament, they play as a team. I play a little football myself. I guess y'all don't know that. I know I can regret saying that. But what young people need is to be a part of a team, to play together as a team, to have their activities be invested in. Not come at the last minute and throw some prize money at people and think that that is all they want. They want the prize money. But before that, they want you to invest in what they're trained to do. There are young people in Britain's Hill that are trying hard to work with the children. They're trying hard. They are giving of their free time. We still have people in Barbados who are interested in this country. Don't let this Democratic Labour Party government make you think that everybody is like them. We still have people in Barbados who are willing to invest their time and energy in their community. But they need the people who say that they are here to represent them, to support them. They think that Berners Hill is a last-minute community, that they can come in the last few weeks or days before an election and tell you that $200 for your vote is all you deserve. I want you to show them that that is a lie. And I say to young people all the time, you could choose to take the $200 nowadays with the NSRL now at 10%, if it can get you far. Or you could choose the path of somebody who, on a Barbados Labour Party and a leader who are interested in making sure that you are able to earn well for the rest of your working years. That is the difference. But I say another thing. Take the money. I don't tell people don't take the money. If somebody is going to come to insult your intelligence by offering you a few dollars for your choice and for your self-respect and your integrity, I am not going to tell you, don't take it. Because guess what? They owe you that and 1,000 times more for the neglect that you have suffered over the last 10 years. They owe you that. I even tell people, don't take it. If you take it, you need to still go and vote in your own interests. You need to still go and vote for the person who is willing to walk with you along the path. Not who's going to stay home and send people to buy you a few drinks and think that that is all you need. People want entertainment, it's true. People want to watch some sports and listen to some music and drink, that's fine. But that is not all that you deserve. The first time I walked into Valerie, I saw the pavilion there and I asked, well, what goes on up here? Keisha laughed. Do you remember that, Keisha? Keisha said, goes on up here? The community center is always closed. When I was growing up in Haggett Hall, I grew up in Sinclair Road in Haggett Hall. My father is here tonight. Raise your hand so people can see it. People want to know. And, you know, I came from a modest family. I come from a modest family. So when I talk about these things, I understand. And a lot of what I was able to do because the government of the day, the Barbados Labour Party, and even in some cases the Democratic Labour Party government of the day, invested in people. But this Democratic Labour Party government that we have had over the last decade bears no resemblance whatsoever, even to the Democratic Labour Party of the past, even to. And that is why, as you walk up and down Barbados, you will hear people say, I supported the Democratic Labour Party, but I cannot do it now. Errol Barrow is rolling over in his grave. They will not let him rest. Because he would not recognize this government. He would not recognize these people that are claiming to represent the people of Barbados now. And so, you know, I want to say to those people within the sound of my voice that might feel away because they have supported the Democratic Labour Party, no one is going to hold it against you, my friends. No one is going to hold it against you that you choose the path of development and better for your family and for the people of Barbados, and that you can no longer support a Democratic Labour Party government that treats the people of Britain's Hill and treats the people of Barbados like this. No one is holding it against you. But I want to say to those young people who say things, and they all say the same things. This is something that I hear all the time. And I want you to listen carefully because it is something that we have to address. We cannot let people who are in the prime years of their lives, who are between 18 and 40 and are young and now need to feel passionate about life and about dreaming and about what they can do, we cannot let them opt out. People say all the time, no matter what government is in, I still gonna live. No matter what government is in, I still gonna work. And I say, yes, it is true. We all have to work. We all have to live. But there is a difference in how we work and live depending on which government is in, not true? I was able to go to the University of the West Indies free. If I were leaving school now, I would not be able to go to the University of the West Indies free. You understand the difference? A difference in some cases of $7,000 a term. That is a lot of money. And there are people all over these communities that cannot afford it. There are young people that I meet in St. Michael South Central every day who have had to drop out of UE because they can no longer afford to go. And this is not what we expected to see in Barbados in 2018, especially when you have a prime minister who came to the people of Barbados and said that he would never remove free tertiary education. You cannot trust the people? He would never remove free tertiary education. And now what is he telling you? What is he telling the people of Barbados when they elect too much freeness? That's what he is saying to the people who elected him to serve them. He went to UE and got not 1 but 2 degrees free. And now he's telling you that you must pay. This is a man that talks to the people of Barbados as if we are stupid. But he wants us to be stupid because he doesn't want us to access free education. He wants us not to question the policies of his government. How dare you? And you know where you see it, especially in the last few days? A journalist wrote an article in the Telegraph about the problems that Barbados is facing. She talked about the sewage. She talked about the economy. And nothing that she said was a lie. If you all saw the article, you know that that is true. Nothing that she said was a lie. She put it quite clearly, the issues facing Barbados today. She talks about the fact that 4 countries had issued warnings to their citizens not to come to Barbados to have to walk through the sewage water on the streets. All facts. And what is the response of the government of Barbados? Stephen Lashley and Richard Seeley. Their only response is to say she should not have said it. Instead of coming to the people of Barbados to reassure them, instead of coming to the people of Barbados to let them know that they have a plan, They are telling people what they should and should not say. But you know why? You know why they could not come to the people of Barbados with a plan? Because they do not have one. You know who came to the people of Barbados with a plan to address the sewage crisis? Mia Motley. In the absence of any leadership in this country, Mia Motley has had to provide leadership to Barbados. And people talk about how you don't know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. Because she has been here for the last 30 years showing Barbados what leadership looks like and what service looks like. Brenda Stewart is not worthy of speaking the words Mia and more Motley. They should not leave his lips because there is no comparison. When I first came to Valerie, I also spoke to the residents there about who live in the high-rises. And I want to tell you about these high-rise buildings if you do not know. I want to tell you, if you do not know, that these buildings in Valerie and those buildings in the grotto represent the best, or in fact the worst, I should say, examples of how this government has consolidated wealth in the hands of a few while the rest of Barbados suffers. The buildings at Valerie were built for $24 million. The buildings at the grotto for $28 million. $52 million all going to one man. And if I asked the people here from Valerie to show me 2 or 3 people, or even one person that got work as a mason or a carpenter or a joiner on any of those buildings, they will not be able to show me any. These guys up there with skills needed an opportunity were not able to get a single opportunity working on the buildings that they had to sit and watch go up. Right there up on the hill. And that representative has the gall to go and knock on those doors and ask you for your vote. You know what $52 million could have done for the young people in Britain's Hill? And you know, they will send, they will plant their people to come and try and disrupt progress. But there is nothing that can stop this train. I want you to let them know. There is nothing that can stop this train here tonight in Britain's Hill. There is nothing that can stop the Barbados Labour Party from helping to take the people of Barbados forward. You sit there and let them fool you. And let them use you to go in and do their foolish work. But they're not tricking the people of Britain's Hill anymore. Tell them that. Our eyes are open. Our eyes are open to dream and to see the future that we want for our children and for our country. And we are going to choose the people who are going to help take us there. They have no good response to anything that people are going through. We've been working on policies to bring to the people of Barbados. To say, we have a plan. We have listened to you. We have consulted with you. And we have a plan for Barbados. The document was shared before we were ready to share it. And what is their response? That we leaked the document. I would have hoped that they would have read it. Because maybe then they could find some ideas and get a clue of what to do. But instead, they are engaging in the business of politics while we are busy engaging in the business of development. That's what this Barbados Labour Party government is about. Yes, it doesn't matter which government is in, you still have to live and you still have to work. But under a Barbados Labour Party government, you will have the opportunity to work. You will have the opportunity to live. Don't get distracted. You don't get distracted. Because we are staying focused and ready. The Prime Minister came out a while ago to talk about all these appointments. All of a sudden he realized that public servants deserve appointments. But I want Fernandel to understand that he can appoint, but when he can get disappointed. Because we are working with that kind of thing no more. We are not a last minute people in Britain's Hill. We are not a last minute people in Barbados. You cannot come and trick us. We are accustomed to better. And that young man that I told you about, who said to me that he did not know if he was voting, he's going to be 30 years old. What does that mean? It means that when this Democratic Labour Party government came to office, he was 20. And so for a great part of his life, this is the only type of government and governance he has seen. I want to make biggest disappointments. And one of the things that makes me angriest is that this government has allowed some of us to feel as if this is the best that can be done. It is sad. Because we know that better has been done, better can be done, and better will be done when the Barbados Labour Party takes office, should it be the will of the people of Barbados. The Barbados Labour Party pioneered a policy, legislation called the Tenantries Freehold Purchase Act, which was to transfer title and ownership of lands that people were occupying at 10 cents per square foot at the time. The majority of the cost of the land was paid by the government of the country, by a Barbados Labour Party government. And it extended the policy beyond rural tenantries to urban tenantries. And in a decade of Barbados Labour Party governance, 3,000 properties were transferred to poor people in Barbados who otherwise would never have gotten an opportunity to own land. And what does ownership of land mean? It means that you can use it for something. It means you can pass it on to your children and give them a start. In a decade of a Democratic Labour Party government, they have barely been able to transfer 300. The Barbados Labour Party was able to transfer 3,000. And people want to say there's no difference between the DLP and the Barbados Labour Party. The difference is there in black and white for you to see. Because we have always said, and we have always known that it is important for Barbadians to own a piece of the rock and feel like they have a piece of this country. But going forward, we have said that we don't only want Barbadians to have a piece of the rock, we want Barbadians to have a piece of the action. We cannot continue to consolidate wealth in the hands of a few people who have already made it, who are already seeing salaries and living lives that you and I can only ever dream of. The chief priority of this Democratic Labour Party government has been to enrich the already rich and to enrich themselves. I want you to understand that there is a cost of corruption. It is not just something that happens. Don't let people tell you that all politicians are corrupt and all politicians are the same. focus on me. You don't focus on the rest. We are staying focused. You stay focused. You stay focused. That's all right. These are the last breaths of a dying government. So you just stay focused. The Barbados Labour Party is a party of implementation. It is a party that gets things done. Don't let anybody tell you that you don't know that they cannot tell you the difference between the DLP and the BLP. The Barbados Labour Party has always been able to get things done in this country. And what have we seen over the last decade? It is what the woman said in the article, that the people of Barbados are calling it a do-nothing government. The people in British Hill deserve more than a do-nothing government. The people of British Hill deserve somebody who is going to listen to their concerns and who is going to do something about it. And I want you to stay focused with me. Whatever you're trying to kill it, dead already. It's dead already. And this government will soon be. I don't want y'all to get distracted. You focus. We have work to do in this community. We have work to do in this country. And desperation is in the air. But we are holding ourselves above that because we have real work to do for the people of Barbados. I want to talk especially to those young people who say they are not voting because they've never been interested. And I want you to understand something that I had to come to understand before I came to offer myself in service to Barbados. And it is this. The work of transforming this country is nobody else's job to do. It is not anybody else's job to do. It is our job to do. You might sit by and say, well, Marsha good, or the BLP good. I don't have to get up and go anywhere. I want you to understand that it is not up to anybody else but you. It is up to all of you sitting here tonight to make sure that the Barbados Labour Party is elected as the next government of this country and that Mayor Amor Motley is elected as the first woman Prime Minister of Barbados. Not because she is a woman, but because she is the best hope for Barbados. I asked a young man here tonight, what is it that you have to lose by going to vote? And I want us to understand that when the meetings are over, when those lights are turned off, and when we take off our red shirts, the work does not stop there. We have to continue to have these conversations. And I want y'all to listen carefully. Because it is not just about voting. Young people in Barbados feel as if no one is looking out for them. They feel as if I don't have to vote because nobody is looking to help me. It is not just about election day, because after that day, we cannot let a whole generation of people just sit by idle. Because how is a country going to grow without all of its citizens participating. I want us to understand what happens when a country lets down its young people. I want us to understand what happens when young people feel as if they have no hope and they have no opportunity. This country is not going to go forward without everybody on board. I spoke recently to an older lady in the community who lives on a pension. And there are 13 people in the household. And guess how much income is coming in? That one pension. And she is there caring for everybody in that household. One person is living with a disability and needs care. 2 of the young people were at Cave Hill and had to drop out because they cannot afford to pay. Another one had already graduated but had to repay a loan that she had to take to pay for the last year of school because they, as usual, came up with a policy and thrust it on people without giving people a chance to prepare and get themselves together and get their finances in order so that they could adjust. They did it with the bicycle helmets. They did it with the police protection. They are a rush job, last minute patchwork government. And we have no more time for them because we are serious people in Brazil. We are serious people in Barbados. We are about growth. And she has to maintain that household on her single pension. The day that I spoke to her, she did not go to get her medication because she had to help her son feed his children. We are living in a Barbados now where you have to choose between taking care of your health and feeding yourself. That is the country we are living in. So yes, under any government you still have to live, but how? Ask yourself that question. We know that under past Barbados Labour Party governments, you have always been able to have something in your pocket. That's not by chance. They will want you to think that it is by chance, but it is not by chance, it is by design. Because we have people in the Barbados Labour Party who understand how policy works. It is not just about ticking off boxes in their last days of government so that they can come at election time and say, Richard Seeley do this, look at there. Michael Lashley do this, look at there. That's not what government is about. It's not about your scorecard. You had 10 years. And I want for them to understand that what cannot be done in 10 years cannot be done in 10 weeks or 10 days. If you are so much man, call the election. If you are so sure of your leadership, call the election. Because I heard a moderator say on a call-in program the other day that she does not understand why people are so much in a hurry to get to have an election. She does not understand what difference it makes if it happens now or if it happens in May or if it happens in June. Well, my dear, let me explain it to you. This country's foreign reserves last report were at 4 weeks. I will say last report were at 4 weeks because I greatly suspect that notwithstanding, again, the patchwork job they're trying to do by dragging in money under cover of night and making sales without giving you all the information, notwithstanding all of that, we are likely to see a situation that we saw in the early 90s. Where the reserves were at 2.5 weeks, balance of payments crisis. And what had to happen then? The Barbados Labour Party had to come in and fix the mess that the DLP government had left for us. We are new to this thing, but we are true to this thing, and we are true to the people of Barbados. We know how to get it done because we've had to do it before. But when you allow a country to languish without any clear direction about where it is going or when the election is coming, what happens? People who might be willing to invest in the country are not going to invest. People who have money here, faced with this insecurity, will be looking to take it out. It matters. Governance matters, leadership matters, decisions matter. My team who is here with me tonight will always hear me say, I don't make a lot of noise, I make decisions. I don't make noise for the sake of noise. All this Democratic Labour Party has been able to do is make noise, and they make no decisions for the betterment of the people of this country. The Barbados Labour Party has said that we will return free tertiary education to the people of Barbados. The Barbados Labour Party has said, and will continue to say, that the NSRL is another one of the Democratic Labour Party taxes that does not serve, that does not make sense, that has shrunk the economy, that has made businesses close down. St. Michael South Central has a large commercial population. It used to have a large percentage of business owners, working class black business owners, who have had to close down because of the NSRL. Don't let people tell you that these things do not matter. They matter. The Barbados Labour Party has said that we will repeal the NSRL so that people in Barbados can live again, can breathe again. The Barbados Labour Party has said that we will invest in communities again, because young people need activities. They need to feel as if the government that they have voted for is supporting them and supporting their endeavors. Young people need work. And we are not saying that these things are going to happen overnight. We know they cannot happen overnight. But step by step and hand in hand with the people of this country, we are going to make it, and Barbados is going to get back on that path to greatness that we were on a decade ago when these people derailed us. Do not let them tell you that better cannot be done, because we know what better looks like. And if there are people here in this audience tonight who do not know what better looks like, look for somebody who is 10 years old, or 12 years old, or 15 years older than you, and they can tell you what Barbados used to be like. We could drive on our roads. We had a spot meeting in Clapham last week, and one of the speakers from the community said that he almost lost friends who got in an accident because of a pothole in the road they were trying to avoid. And we can be told that potholes don't take lives, that potholes are a transitory inconvenience. Stop letting the people insult you. We used to have a hospital and a healthcare system that used to provide real care for people. I want to ask anybody here who has had to go in A&E recently, or who has had to go to a polyclinic recently, how long you had to wait. And if you were able to get, if you had to stay in the hospital, if you were able to get gauze, if you were able to get something to eat. I had a friend that went in the hospital recently, and she had to carry her own everything. Own soap, own plaster, own gauze, own food, own toilet paper. This is the Barbados that we live in today. And I want you to tell the young people in your households and in your communities that it was not always like this, because they do not know. They do not understand. I want to say finally tonight that notwithstanding all of this, I am here because I know that we are on the way to better. I am here and I am hopeful Because we have people like Kurt Humphrey running in St. Michael South, who puts people over politics. And we're going to see what that looks like again in Barbados. People like Kurt, who respond to things happening in the community, who after the loss of a young man recently to violence, did not go and get up on a platform and tell people to behave. It don't work so. You can't point your fingers at people and get them to do what you say. Being at school, you're supposed to be running a country. And Kurt said, you know what? We're going to walk together. And we are going to show these communities of St. Michael South that we are one family and we have to take care of each other. Those are the kinds of actions that show real leadership and distinguish this Barbados Labour Party from these jokers that we have say they're running a country. I was proud to be on that walk today. And when I looked around and when I passed those households, I saw people that were hoping again and dreaming again because they believe in Kurt Humphrey. They believe not that he is a god, but that he is a man with vision. You see the difference? Because Frandel believes he's a god. And that he cannot be moved from there. But I know that the people of St. Michael South are going to show him that he ain't no god. And that they would rather a man with vision than a man who could only talk about history be looking forward. I am proud to be part of a Barbados Labour Party with people like Kurt Humphrey and Santia Bradshaw and Jeffrey Bostic that understand that politics is not glamour. Politics is hard work and dedication. It is care, it is commitment, it is courage to fight the fight on behalf of the people that you were put there to represent. I look forward and I have hope because we sit around the table and we talk about the things that are going to take Barbados forward. We don't talk about people. Small minds talk about people and small minds discuss people. We talk about policy and ideas and what we believe in and what we want to see in Barbados and what we think is going to move people to a place where they can do better for themselves. That's what we talk about. And I sit with my colleagues, and I go into the community and I see leadership there as well. And a lot of those young leaders are here tonight. And they have stepped forward and said, you know what? Barbados looks like this now, but it does not have to look like this. We are going to help it be better. And I feel hope, and I see the future when I listen to and when I engage with my political leader, Mia Amor-Motley. You know, we might get so used to hearing the name, and we might get so used to seeing the face because, as Kurt said, she is everywhere in every corner, talking to everybody. Politics is not glamour, that's what politics looks like. Get on the ground and know your people, so that you can know, based on what they say to you, what is good for them. And we might get used to hearing the name. And we might get used to hearing the adulation and the praise, but I don't want you to take it for granted. Because this is a woman that did not have to be here. That gave nearly 30 years of her life in service to Barbados. That even when they try to intimidate her, she cannot be intimidated. She is unbought and unbossed. None of them cannot say that. And she has shown them time and time again. In the words of Etana, that she is not afraid. That she is willing to fight on behalf of the people of Barbados. That no one who would seek to come and tell Barbadians that they do not deserve better will triumph in this country. And so, I know that things seem daunting now. I know that we are dealing with some big issues. We are dealing with an economic crisis, not a global one that was wrought on us at the hands of this Democratic Labour Party government. I know we are dealing with failing infrastructure, roads, healthcare system that doesn't work, taxes that overburden us. I know that this Democratic Labour Party government has put us through that, but I want you to remember that weeping endures for a night, but that joy is coming in the morning, people of Britain's Hill and people of Barbados. And I want you, when that bell is rung, to remember what you are fighting for. To rally the troops, to get everybody on board, and to say and to remember and to show that, in the words of Muhammad Ali, impossible is nothing. This situation is not impossible. The Barbados Labour Party has the wherewithal, has the solutions, and has the team and the leadership in Mia and More Motley that can help bring Barbados along and lead this country out of where it finds itself because of this DLP government. And so, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want you to be encouraged, and I do not want you to be distracted. I want you to understand that this is the most important election that this country will face. Do not let it find you standing on the outside of progress. Do not let it find you standing on the wrong side of history. Get together the strength that you need to get together. Get together the neighbors, get together the family members, talk to the young people in your household, make sure they are registered, make sure they understand the issues, and when that bell is rung, get up and get out with everything you have and vote for the Barbados Labour Party to return to government and to return Barbados to the path of development. Good night and God bless you.